Hey there, coffee lovers! We're so thrilled you've stopped by AJ Coffee Farm here in beautiful Landih, Bali. We're truly glad to have you, and we can't wait to share our unique coffee journey with you. We're going to dive into how we make our famous Luwak coffee, right from the very beginning. We'll chat about how we plant our coffee trees, what goes into our daily farming, how we pick the cherries, what happens after the harvest, and of course, how our amazing free-range Luwak, those cute little civets, pick out only the very best coffee cherries for us. Ever wonder how a coffee tree gets its start? Here on our farm, we use a pretty cool technique called grafting. Think of it like giving a strong, healthy body to a special head. We take a little shoot from one of our best Kintamani coffee trees, the local variety we're known for, and carefully attach it to a healthy, sturdy rootstock. It's like giving our best coffee a super strong foundation. Right now, our newest little coffee saplings are settling in. We planted them just a few years ago, in 2023, down in our south plot. By choosing the best parents for both the shoot and the root system, we're making sure that every new tree will keep producing the fantastic coffee quality you love for years and years. Growing coffee isn't just about sticking a plant in the ground, though. It's really about guiding it, helping it grow strong and produce lots of yummy cherries. And a huge part of that is pruning. Pruning is basically giving our trees a regular haircut. It helps shape them, making sure they stay robust, balanced, and full of fruit. We do it not just to manage how big they get, but to really boost their long-term health and the quality of their beans. So, why is pruning such a big deal? It helps trees grow strong trunks and branches so they can hold all those heavy coffee cherries. It balances out the leaves and branches, making sure nutrients spread out evenly. It keeps the tree from getting too bushy by snipping off any dried or unwanted shoots. It stops older branches from flowering too much, as those might give us lower quality fruit. And it helps us keep the perfect tree shape, which makes harvesting way easier. Regular pruning also means our plants get plenty of sunshine and fresh air, which cuts down on disease. Plus, it helps the tree focus all its energy on producing top-notch, perfectly ripe cherries. It's a simple, but super important step in growing great coffee sustainably. Here at AJ Coffee Farm, we're all about sustainable farming. For us, it's not just a buzzword, it's our promise to Mother Nature. We're dedicated to taking care of our environment, keeping our ecosystem balanced, and protecting all the amazing local plants and animals that call this place home. Here are the 5 main ways we make sure our farming is super sustainable. 1. Going organic. We're totally committed to using organic fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides. Now, we'll be honest, going organic isn't always the fastest way to see results. But it's worth it because it protects the long-term health of our soil, keeps our water clean, supports the whole ecosystem, and ultimately, gives you truly natural, high-quality coffee. Think about it, using chemical stuff can really mess up the soil, pollute our water, and harm all those tiny, helpful critters in the ground. That throws the environment out of whack and can even make crops less tasty over time. So, for us, organic is the only way to go. 2. Catching rainwater. Up here in the mountains, the rainwater is just amazing, fresh, clean, and pure. We collect it straight from the sky, and we also get water from a natural mountain spring nearby. This water is totally free from city pollution or factory gunk. We store this pristine water in big tanks and then send it all over the farm. It helps us with everything, watering our new plants, processing the coffee after harvest, and even for daily stuff like cooking and cleaning. Being smart about our water use and really making the most of rainwater is just part of our daily routine. 3. Saving energy with solar power. You know, most electricity in Indonesia comes from coal plants, which means carbon emissions and pollution that contribute to climate change. We wanted to do our part to reduce our carbon footprint from energy use. That's why we've installed a 4,000-watt solar panel system. We've paired it with a super efficient hybrid inverter and eco-friendly LiFePO4 batteries. These batteries are awesome because they're non-toxic, totally recyclable, last a long time, and are made from sustainable stuff like iron and phosphate. This setup lets us make clean electricity right from the sun, so we rely less on fossil fuels and cut down our electricity bills too. Solar energy powers all sorts of things on the farm, from lights to equipment and our post-harvest machinery. And don't worry, on cloudy days or at night, our stored battery power or the main grid kicks in to make sure we always have enough juice. 4. Protecting our local nature. Biodiversity is a fancy word for all the different kinds of life around us, and it's super important for a healthy farm. We make sure our farm ecosystem stays strong by planting all sorts of local trees both around and among our coffee plants. These trees do so much good. They give our coffee plants shade from too much sun, help keep the temperature just right, lock moisture in the soil, and stop erosion. They also attract important pollinators, birds, and helpful insects that keep the farm's natural balance humming along. 5. Loving our soil microbes. Healthy soil is alive, and the most important creatures in it are microbes, tiny, microscopic organisms. These little guys break down organic stuff and move nutrients around, making the soil rich. Using any chemicals can mess up this delicate balance and harm these helpful microbes. By letting our native microbial population thrive, the land stays natural and healthy. This, in turn, allows our coffee trees to grow stronger root systems and soak up nutrients more efficiently, leading to healthier plants and, of course, better coffee beans. Taking care of our local microbes isn't just about growing coffee, it's about protecting the invisible life right under our feet that makes true sustainable farming possible. Harvesting is one of the most crucial times for coffee. Why? Because the quality of your final cup really depends on when and how those cherries are picked and processed. Here on our farm, we use a special method called selective handpicking. This means we only pick coffee cherries that are perfectly ripe, deep red or purplish in color. We leave the unripe yellow or green ones, and the overripe black ones, because they can really mess with the flavor and quality of the coffee. And guess what? Our Luwak in the Luwak garden do the exact same thing. Every night, they naturally pick only the very best, ripest cherries. They eat the whole cherry, and the beans get a unique fermentation inside their digestive system. A few hours later, they deposit the whole bean, still inside its hard shell, which we then collect. Harvest season usually comes once a year, typically between April and August. It takes several rounds of picking to make sure every single cherry is harvested at just the right moment. Sure, this method takes more time and effort, but it's totally worth it for those top quality beans and that consistently delicious taste profile. Basically, coffee processing is all about removing the fruity layers around the bean. But it's way more than just cleaning, it hugely impacts the final coffee's flavor, aroma, and how it feels in your mouth. We also sometimes use a couple of other processing methods for any extra coffee cherries we have. Washed process. Here, we pulp the cherry using a machine, then wash the beans with clean water. After that, they soak submerged in water for 24 to 30 hours to get rid of all the sticky mucilage. This method typically gives coffee that classic Kintamani single origin flavor, bright acidity and a lighter body. Natural process. With this one, we simply dry the whole cherries right after picking. It takes longer to dry than other methods, but it gives the coffee a bolder body, lovely fruity notes, and a higher sweetness. Once processed, the beans still have a hard skin on them, and we call them parchment. They need to dry for about 10 to 20 days, depending on the weather, the method, and our target moisture level. Proper drying is super important. If it's too fast, the beans can crack, but if it's too slow, they might dry on the outside but still have too much moisture inside, which can lead to mold or other unwanted growth. To make sure our drying process is consistently top-notch, we built our own solar dryer house. It has a clear, sloped roof that lets in maximum sunlight while preventing condensation. Any dew or moisture that naturally forms as temperatures change just slides down the slope, so it never drips onto our precious coffee beans. To keep the humidity and temperature just right, we've installed a climate control system. A sensor constantly checks the environment. If humidity or temperature hit critical levels, an automatic fan kicks in. This helps control airflow, keeps the temperature from getting too high, which could harm the coffee bean embryo, reduces extra moisture, and prevents mold, especially during those longer drying periods. After the parchment reaches our ideal moisture content, usually around 11%, we store them in special plastic bags that protect them from outside moisture. Storing them for a few months in a cool place also helps ensure all the parchment dries out evenly. When they're ready, the parchment beans go through a huller machine that takes off that hard skin. Now, they're called green beans, even if they're not always green. Some might be slightly yellow or even a darker bluish color, especially if they went through the natural or honey process, which tends to make them a darker yellow. After hulling, the beans get sorted to remove any defects, like broken bits, insect damage, withered beans, black ones, empty shells, or anything that shouldn't be there. This makes sure only perfect, whole beans move on to the roasting process. For roasting our special Luwak green beans, we use a complex, slow roast profile. This specific way of roasting helps us get the absolute most flavor, aroma, and sweetness out of the beans, while keeping a medium-low body and balanced acidity. The result? A super smooth and rounded mouthfeel after every sip. Our amazing free-range Luwak. The Luwak, you might know them as the Asian palm civet, is a small, shy, and mostly nocturnal mammal that's native to Southeast Asia. These animals are naturally solitary and love to wander and forage at night. They're omnivores, meaning they eat all sorts of things: fruits, insects, small mammals, and yes, coffee cherries are definitely one of their favorites. During the day, they prefer to chill out and sleep in quiet, shaded spots. You'll often find them curled up on tree branches or hidden away in thick bushes. You probably won't spot them easily during the day, as they tend to stay tucked away until evening rolls around. Luwak are also territorial animals. In the wild, they mark their territories using scent glands near their rear end, and they usually leave their droppings in visible, clean spots. This behavior is actually a big help for us, making it much easier to collect the Luwak poop every morning. Their super sharp instincts lead them to pick only the ripest and most nutritious fruits. This not only keeps them healthy but also plays a role in spreading seeds in nature. To give our Luwak the most natural home possible, we built a Luwak garden. It's a huge, open area, safely protected by a sturdy fence all around. This lets them roam freely, forage, climb trees, and just generally be a wild Luwak. Our Luwak garden is a living ecosystem. It's packed with green plants and tons of their favorite fruit trees, like papaya, jackfruit, guava, and banana, and of course, coffee trees. We've got about 1,150 trees in total, giving our roughly 30 Luwak plenty of shade and natural places to explore. It's an environment where our Luwak feel safe, comfy, and totally at home. The garden also lets our visitors observe the Luwak respectfully and ethically. You might see them curled up in their favorite sleeping spots, hidden in the bushes or under a weed mat, or climbing high up in the trees. We also have 3 spacious quarantine/observation cages. We periodically use humane traps to catch our Luwak for quick health checks or observation, and these cages are big enough for vets or caretakers to easily go inside. We really hope you have an incredible time exploring our farm and leave with some unforgettable memories. both from seeing how we do things here and, of course, from enjoying a truly amazing cup of our coffee. Thanks for being here. And don't forget to leave a comment and pin a 5 stars in our Google Map review. Also tag and follow our Instagram so others may have the same fun as you do.